get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hood Smart Late Night Radio Show. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing okay. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. Listen, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers gonna win the Super Bowl this year. See what I'm saying? And I'm willing to put money on it that they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Right. I just wanted to get that out the way real quick. But other than that, so just nah, you don't think so? Just you know what I'm saying? I was on live like I told y'all this weekend because we had Tariq Nasheed destroying these other groups of people, and these Africans and these mess. I know how to deal with the Africans. The Africans are not a problem. We you know what I'm saying? We just throw a piece of bush meat in the water, they're gonna go run and go fetch it. You know what I'm saying? They are not an issue. I know how to get rid of them. It's the damn the Mexicans and the Native Americans. Ooh, them motherfuckers there. So because they don't never like to come on other people's panels. They like to stay in their own little spots and talk all that. And the thing about it is, they have no facts whatsoever. You know what? All of them ain't. All of them just ain't. All of them have no facts. I just don't like how the Mexicans and the Native Americans, they got this bougie kind of demeanor. Oh, we're indigenous. Bitch, where? So tonight, we're going to just go ahead and just put them to shame tonight. And, I like to do things in a very scholarly way. I like to, bring the facts in. I like to bring the receipts so we could do things very, what's the word I'm looking for? Demore. See what I'm saying? And stop not having rhetoric to say, well, if you just look at them, they look clearly like Africans. They clearly look like Africans. Bro, just look at you, bro. Like, come on, my nigga. That don't say anything. But anyways, before we get into it, I want to go ahead and let this young lady, I think it's a girl. I can't see the name. That says Princess. Go ahead, man. What's your name and where you from?
It says priestess. I'm calling from California.
Okay, man. Talk to me. What's going on?
So I just came in to answer the prompt.
Go ahead.
Where did the so-called Native Americans come from? So the Alaskan natives, they migrated here when Alaska became a part of the United States. I think that was in 1950.
1950s. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So they're not a part of the American Indian mound builders.
Okay.
They're Asians from Russia and Eastern Europe.
Okay. I like that. I can go. Talk to me, brother.
Oh, what's good? What's good? What's good? 35 from Tennessee.
What it
Yeah.
is, brother? Talk to me.
What's up? Where did the so-called Native Americans come from? I wouldn't call them Native Americans, but the Siberians, they crossed the Bering Strait during the Ice Age. Yeah, kind of like what my sister was alluding to. I'm kind of surprised. I haven't heard many people talk about the mound builders that that kind of settled off in the southeast. Whether we talking about the bottom of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida,
Louisiana.
but
Yep.
it's definitely plenty of those sites and things like that for sure.
Okay. So wait, what year are we saying? Would you like to give them? I
Give,
can go.
give who the mountain builders or the Native Americans?
The so-called pretendians, $5 natives. What
Not
year?
out of this. Oh shit, I get them probably what they came over here probably about the early 1300s, I believe.
So you say 1413. She says 1900s. Okay. All right. Those are some pretty good numbers. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna break down the science. Cause that's how FBAs get down. We don't do all this. Well, look at you, look what you look like. Unscientific or unfactual calling. So I like to do something that's called the DRL. The DRL stands for DNA, records, and law. If you just stick with those three letters, the DRL, we could break down who they are and who we are because it's already been written, it's already been documented, it's already been scientifically proven through DNA. So let's start with DNA. I don't even like talking about DNA because it's just that's not even my strongest alibi for why, or my strongest proof of why we're indigenous, but we're gonna start there. So the earliest confirmed human remains in America was the Louisiana bone in Brazil 11,000 years ago. And Brazil's archaeologist Walter Neves said that the Louisiana skull has traits that are very different from those of any other Mongol population, which includes today's Native Americans. So with that own DNA report, that already proves that the Native Americans 11,000 years ago, you out of here. So that already disproves that you were here. And then the second, we have records. That's R. Records, we have Peter Marty, 1516, described people as black-like Ethiopians. Remember, Africa wasn't the name that they were calling that part of the region or that continent. Africa, that term didn't exist, and the term black didn't exist. So Peter Marty, 1560, a European explorer, described people over here as black-like Ethiopians. Ethiopian is what they use to describe people in that region of Africa. And then we have Lucy Hernandez del Benjamin, 1544. And this person recorded the Indian of the province of this province are darker than those we have seen before, and their hair is longer and more coarse. And I think he was talking about the southeast region of Florida. And then we have Benjamin Hawkins, 1799. The Negroes and the people of mixed blood are numerous amongst them, and many of the Indians are nearly black. So the important thing about this report, and why I like Benjamin Hawkins' report, is that he's clearly saying that you couldn't make the distinction between the so-called Indians and the Negroes in this part of the southeast region of Florida. They all looked alike. And this is 1799. So this is before a heavy influence of slaves are coming in and whatnot. Or this is a part of the United States where we didn't have a lot of slaves coming in yet. A lot of slaves stayed in the South Carolina, Virginia area. A lot of them weren't in the Florida southeast bottom region of the world. I mean, of the United States. Now, let's get down to laws. Now, this is my favorite, laws. So now we're going to break down, where did these, I guess, Native Americans come from? So just to be clear, the term Native American didn't come around until 1960 or 1950. So they weren't using that term Native American. So this law that I like is called the 1854 California Supreme Court law. And it's called the People versus Hall. And it basically says Chinese people could never testify against white citizens, interpreting that the law to mean that anyone who was not white, including Chinese, was legally considered equivalent to black, mulatto, or Indian. Millie, what's going on, man? So the problem with this is basically the 1854 Act is clearly saying that there was no distinction between black, mulatto, and Indian. They were even labeling Chinese people as Indian and black. So this is 1854. Slavery didn't end until 1865. The term Native American didn't come around to 1960. So what that clearly means is, if you would have asked me, these niggas came from Asia. These niggas are Chinese than a motherfucker. See what I'm saying? Because it clearly says Chinese people could never testify against white citizens, interpreting that the law means that anyone who was not white, including Chinese, was legally considered equivalent to black, mulatto, or Indian. See what I'm saying? No, white was black. Was no pale version of these people either. Black Chinese still exist. So there was no distinction between these groups of people. See what I'm saying? So when people try to say, "Oh, look at you, you are black," they weren't playing none of that back then. All y'all asses was considered black or Indian. So the Chinese come into place because, like the sister down below said, that they were already in the Americas. They're in the Americas during the gold mining over there in California. So they were already around. So they went ahead and bumped these groups of people as Indians or they lumped them into a group as calling them Indians. And when we look at photos in the 1950s or the 1960s, that's when you started seeing the photography of what they were calling the term Native Americans. See what I'm saying? And those people look Chinese like a motherfucker. Do they not look Chinese? Right. Anyway, Sir Satan. Sir Stain, go ahead, talk to me, brother. What's going on?
All I was gonna say, brother, is that people. I need more black people to understand how lazy and trifling these white people were, man. They didn't care. If you weren't white, they didn't care.
They didn't care,
You
exactly.
know, a lot of people think that they see. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that their tactics have evolved. They think that the way they block off groups and section off groups now is how they did it back in, the
Exactly.
early 1800s, and
Right.
that's not how they did it.
Exactly.
There's a good example of that in Williamston, North Carolina. There was a high Native American population there.
Mhm.
And I think it was either the late 1800s, early 1900s. They decided, you know what? There's a lot of you natives here, and we've got to start to reclassify y'all because we don't want the blacks to start to act like they're one of you. So what we're going to do is just reclassify everybody as Negro.
Right.
So they do this attack that they use to basically erase your identity, you
Right.
know. So people have to understand that they have no respect when it comes to the other. If you aren't Anglo, if you aren't European, if you're not from the UK, France, Germany, if you're not from those Germanic tribes, anything in that colder region, they are going to strip you of your identity and make you into what they want.
Exactly. And here's the thing that I want to point out because you made some great points. These are white people labeling other groups of people. So this is not the groups of people speaking for themselves. Vanilla, yes, I am. I am part indigenous. If you want to come on the panel and discuss, you can. I don't know why you scared. You want to be scared in the chat box. I run a very fair panel. So if you have anything to debunk what I'm saying, you can come on here. We can have a decent conversation if you have the facts. Right. So then hop on. Then I'm gonna add you on if you're not scared. So yeah, we gotta understand that the labeling came from white people. You see what I'm saying? And then the point why I bring up DRL, which is DNA records and label, is because hold on, man, I'm gonna give me a second. Is because if we follow that order, everything is already laid out. there was never a time where black people were not mentioned or even questioned in the Americas. See what I'm saying? There was never a time people weren't saying people over here look dark skinned. See what I'm saying? There was never a time that did not exist. So it's kind of funny that, all of a sudden these terms, these labeling, all of a sudden now exist in the 1950s or the late 1960s. And then when we figure out who is in control of labeling, it's white people. They're the ones, I think his name was Henry L. something. I forgot what his name was. He's the one who came out with the Dawes Rolls. Henry L. Dawes. There we go. His last name is in the damn act. Henry L. Dawes is the one who came up with the Dawes Rolls Act. And he's the one who told everybody who they was and gave them their section. And then he even included other white people into the Dawes Rolls Act. So I'm supposed to go off of that? Right. Anyways, let's get Vanilla going. Vanilla, talk to me, man. Vanilla Bean. How you doing?
Hello.
What's your name and where you from?
I don't want to disclose my real name, but I guess you could just call me Bean, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay, talk to me. So, do you have a rebuttal to my rhetoric? I see you in the chat box.
Yeah, so basically, whenever I first joined, I read your banner behind you, and I took it as you were saying Black people were the first Native Americans. And so, but that was just a misreading. Of course, you disclosed that. And I just was typing in the chat how Indigenous people are not Black. We are not, I mean, I can't really claim myself as indigenous because I'm only 32%, but like indigenous people are not black.
No, yeah, you're right. Black people are indigenous. You're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong.
All
Yeah,
black
you're
people
right.
are indigenous.
Indigenous people, it's black people are indigenous. I don't know why you said it backwards. You had me all messed up in the brain, but I'm glad we got that straightened out. So
Yeah.
you get it now, right? You Vanilla Bean, you understand?
Why is this person saying I'm clueless?
Because they're trying to, because we're not understanding what you're saying. Are you trying to say black people are not indigenous?
No, I'm just trying to say that the first indigenous people were not black because a lot of
That's just the same shit I just said.
yeah,
So,
okay. So I was just a little confused at first, but you told me you
okay,
just
so what proof do you have, ma'am, that we're not indigenous?
I'm not saying that you are not indigenous. I'm just saying that oh my god.
Just take your time. I'm fair. Like, you can take your time. It's not that big of a deal.
Wrong, ma'am, you don't know history.
No,
Okay, then why don't you come in here and talk about how
Vanilla Bean. This is between me and you. Don't worry about the chat box. They're gonna say whatever they want to say. Me and you are talking. Do you believe black people are indigenous to America? Yes or no?
I guess I was not taught that black people were on America first. No, I was taught that indigenous people were on America first.
Okay. Do you know, and what do those indigenous people look like?
They had darker skin and long dark hair, long dark straight hair.
Well, where'd you get that straight part from? That sounded kind of like biased and prejudiced. What do you mean straight? No one described their hair straight. They said it
Because
was coarse, long coarse hair. So that means they could have dreads. I don't know where you got this straight business. Eh? Out of all the Europeans I mentioned, no one said anything about straight hair. They said
I mean,
long hair.
my father's side is indigenous Mexican. They have about 90+% indigenous, and none of them have
90?
curly.
90%? 90%? That's a high number for a Mexican.
Yeah, because the first Mexicans were indigenous, Aztec, Mayan, Otomi.
Is that so?
Those weren't Mexicans though.
Yeah.
That's the thing that always kind of gets me when people say that. Y'all like to ignore the people who came and kind of diluted that bloodline.
That bloodline. Right. So
Yeah.
Mexican, just in case you didn't know, Mexican is a fairly new term, and
Yeah, we are from indigenous and Spanish. We were indigenous, and then the Spanish came and colonized us, and now we are mestizo, a mix of indigenous and Spanish.
What
okay.
color were the indigenous people? Spaniards.
The indigenous people were
Hold
brown.
on.
They had
Give me
brown
1 second.
skin. They had very dark skin.
Okay.
But just because someone has dark skin doesn't mean they're black. That's like saying,
Oh, so what level of black or dark does someone have to be in order to be black? Nobody's black. I hope you know that.
you're
This
black
my
if you're from African
my
descent.
t-shirt is black. I'm not black. I'm brown. So
Well,
it's dark skin. So what level does it qualify? Like, where's
they
the
didn't have
where's the coloring?
African. They didn't have
Hold
African
on, man.
features.
So hold on, man. Where's the coloring chart? Did someone describe the coloring chart? Go ahead, man. I'll meet you, sir. Go ahead, Vanilla Bean.
Okay, well, they didn't have African features.
No. You said dark skin. What is African features?
What?
What is African features?
Come on now. Now you're just acting clueless. You know that.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Olmec statues, ma'am? The Olmec head statues? The colossal statues that they said were found in the Americas. It's to say that they were the first groups of people, first civilized groups of people in America. You know what I'm talking about? Those stone heads. You Because just in case you did it, those stoneheads clearly have what I guess what you would describe as African features: wide nostrils, almond eyes.
Big
So
lips.
big lips. Do you want to see a picture of the Olmec statue that was found? Was the Olmec statue they were found in Mexico, right? That was that part, or was that South America? Where was the Olmec statue found?
They had Negro features.
Mexico. Okay. Let me. I'm gonna show you these statues. I want you to tell me if you would consider them Negroid features, because even some of your Mexican.
Not all indigenous people had the same features, just like how not all white people have the same features. Some white people have small noses, some have bigger noses, like Greek. Some indigenous people were darker and maybe did have more African features, but then again, like you said, some also had Asian features. They had
somebody who's good at putting pictures up. Can y'all in the panel? Can y'all do that? Do me a favor and put the pictures up. I don't think the camera's gonna catch. Yeah.
yes. Also, a lot of natives were from Siberia, and it's
Okay.
rumored that a lot of
So let's-
Asians
let's-
were.
hold
I
on,
mean, a
hold
lot
on,
of
hold on,
natives
hold
were
on,
from
hold on.
Asia.
Hold on, ma'am. Let's break down your assumption. So you made the assumption that black features are only exclusive to Africa, but we clearly have proof and statues of Afroid type or Negroid type features already in America as one of the oldest civilizations to be found in America. Big lips, broad nose, big eyes, and dark skin. There we go, right there.
Okay.
That looks like me right now. So would you say these features are African?
I guess so.
Oh, Vanilla Bean, you're no fun. Oh, come on, Vanilla Bean.
I gotta ask her a question.
So I'm 30. I'm 32% indigenous. I guess I'm black now. I guess I'm 32%
Well,
black.
hold on. Wait a minute, Vanilla. Before you
I
go
guess I'm
there.
a black. I'm a proud black woman now. I guess.
Hold up before you go there, Vanilla. My question is this: do you have an issue with the concept that there were dark skinned blacks?
Where did you get that from? Now
No,
you're
no,
just
no. I'm
reaching.
asking because it
You're
seems
literally
like
reaching.
no,
You're
no, no,
actually
no.
reaching.
Listen. I'm
You're
not trying
trying
to
to
argue.
make this a racist.
Wait,
No, I'm not
Vanilla. We're not here to attack you. We're just asking you.
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead,
curious
brother.
because it's I feel like you're trying to almost make it seem like that we weren't over here and it was primarily what you describe as the quote as the and I'm gonna say this term, the Mongoloid natives that came on the Bering Strait, that they were the only ones that were over here. Is that what you're trying to say, Vanilla?
Vanilla Bean, you can go ahead and unmute your mic.
Sorry. I zoned out halfway. I didn't catch that all.
Go ahead, brother. Ask her again. Vanilla Bean,
Okay. All I'm
she
asking
might be on
is
a bean.
this.
I don't know. Go ahead.
all I'm asking is this: are you skeptical? Maybe I should say that. Are you skeptical of the idea that there were Negroid featured black people on the continental mainland U.S.?
Okay.
Yeah. That's the question. That's what I'm asking you. Are you skeptical of that?
I guess not. You don't actually ever know. Like history isn't all that accurate. So what
Okay.
you're reading in books can't always like.
So what do you believe?
I don't think she knows anymore. I honestly don't think she knows anymore. Wait, go ahead. You can ask her a question. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I have two questions, but I'm gonna ask this question first because she says she's 30-something%, or her parents are 90% Indigenous American DNA.
Not
So I have a question. Huh?
I said some of my family members, like my cousins and stuff, not like my dad. My dad, he only has to be about 60% because if
Okay. No, that's fine. But whatever percentage they got, 30%, 90%, either one. What DNA exactly is it that they're matching to that's indigenous if there's zero ancient DNA in those DNA testing databases for the entire Americas,
There you go. Good
North,
question.
Central, South, and the Caribbean islands. They have zero ancient DNA in the databases. There's certain laws that prohibit that, and certain other things, privacy, or certain things they want to hide as well. So how is it that people are getting, Native Americans, Hispanics, different ones are getting Indigenous American results when they take the DNA test if there's no ancient DNA in the public databases for these ancestry tests? How are they getting those results? Who are they comparing their DNA to say they're indigenous?
Honestly, I really don't know. But my whole thing was, all I came in here to say was not all indigenous people are black or not, whatever, because my family is on my father's side is very much indigenous, and if you look at them, you would not see
Hold on, hold
black
on. You're
people.
saying you're saying it in the
They look
reverse.
more Asian, if anything. They're not black. I
Okay,
promise you.
perfect. I'm glad that you said that because we just talked about how the Chinese were labeled as black in the late 1850s, and the thing about it is what Europeans knew what Asian or Chinese people look like. They were in China in the early 15 or late 1500s. So for them to come over here and clearly call them Chinese, clearly knows that they know the difference between so-called Indian and Chinese. So I'm glad that you clarified that up. That a lot of y'all are just really Asians. You're not indigenous. And there's really no telling exactly when. I believe a lot of the Asians or Chinese got classified as Indian underneath the 1854 Act. Are you familiar with that act, Vanilla Bean? Oh, that was a question. Are you familiar with the 1854 Supreme Court California
Yeah,
Act?
I'm familiar with that.
You are?
Hmm.
Can you tell me what it is, ma'am?
Well, can we also talk about that? Though how
Well,
Italians weren't also
Vanilla
considered
Bean.
white either, but
Hold
they're
on,
white now.
Vanilla Bean. Hold on, you can't do that. No, we got this. Let's stay here, then we can move on to what you want to talk about. Okay, let's talk about the
But
1854 California Supreme Court,
This is so annoying.
People versus Hall. You ran away. Why?
She
Why
had
did
to
you run
bounce.
away?
but
No,
She had to
isn't it
no.
true?
bounce. She had to bounce.
Isn't it true? Isn't it true and factual though that all indigenous people all indigenous people have a certain melanin type. There's two different type of melanins. There's pheomelanin, I think it's pheomelanin, and other one starts with the E. All indigenous people have a certain type of melanin. So why is it? I'm curious about this. Somebody can answer this question for me. Why is it that we accept that all indigenous people across all lands, all continents, have brown skin, but then when it comes to the Americas, we can't accept that? Why is that?
Because they fed into the YT educational system, brother. They're so indoctrinated that it shakes their world. See, here's the thing about someone's worldview being shaken. When you get in a position where someone's worldview is being disrupted, it makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them have to ask other questions like, what else have I been told that I've been lied to? What else have I've listened to that may have not been true or may have been tweaked, throughout time. Though it makes people have to look within themselves, and that turns into a scary place for some people. That's, at least from my perspective, that's why.
Host, I can't. I had a second question for her, but
Okay,
so
but
I
but
want to
there's,
ask
but there's evidence though.
because
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait,
drop
hold
down.
on,
I
hold on,
want
hold
to
on,
ask
hold
her
on, hold
But
on.
there's
Wait, wait,
evidence.
wait,
The
wait, wait,
whole
wait.
world
Oh,
shows.
yo, y'all talking too much. Hold on. So, Father, did you have another question you want to ask right now or later?
Now, as a favor, can you ask this when you do come across people who say they're native or indigenous? Um, can you ask them where were their ancestors during slavery, whether it was in North America, Central America, South America? Please ask them. Start asking them because I'm researching Indian slavery in the Americas, and it's hard to find any information. And the things that I'm finding where was they at? They was the first enslaved in the Americas, according to history, and they stayed enslaved until slavery ended in the Americas. So where were they? Because they keep saying y'all was just slaves. Well, y'all was slaves too. Where was y'all at on the plantations, the mines, all of it, the servitude? Why we don't look Asian? According to history, we was mixing all up and down North and South America, Central
Exactly.
America, with y'all. I please, I'm trying to tell everybody to start asking that critical question. Where was y'all at during slavery? Where's y'all bill of sale? Where's y'all paper to show y'all bought your own freedom? Where's y'all court documents saying, hey, I was wrongfully enslaved. I'm an Indian. I
There
shouldn't
you
have been
go.
enslaved.
Hmm.
Where's it at?
So what you're speaking of is the 1619 baby fall of the womb act, and that basically was saying that any slave woman who got pregnant, that child was automatically considered a slave. So any woman who had a child that was a slave, that child became a slave. And they weren't specific on who that slave was. They didn't say African slave, black slave. They said any slave that got pregnant, that baby is now considered a slave. That is a great question.
Well, not just
Not
that. I'm asking
American
that
culture
too
is
because
very
of the
different than the
fact
rest of the
that
world.
it's not just because of that, but that is also a good point. But it's also because of the fact that a lot of places, especially in the U.S., didn't want African slaves, or it was too much of a task for them to get Africans and bring them over here. A lot of states started outlawing them importing African slaves. So that's when they started going in really hard on
Correct.
kidnapping indigenous
Exactly.
people and enslaving them throughout, especially North
So,
America. I'm gonna say
so,
specifically North
so
and
that's
Central America.
so that's exactly why they came out with the baby fall of the womb, because they were trying to create more slaves. That's why they said anybody who gets pregnant, that's a slave. Your baby's a slave now, because we're not going to keep going to Africa and keep bringing slaves over. That's so that basically yes, that you're exactly right. The
Okay.
slave trade was
Most,
outlawed.
can I ask a question?
Wait, hold on, King. The slavery was outlawed in 1779, or I think 1780s, and because the trip is just too expensive, so they had to figure out a way to keep the population of slaves high and not keep going out there and go grabbing slaves. No one had the money to fund it, so the white boys turned around and said, "Well, fuck it. Who do we have here right now? We're going to impregnate people, or we're going to, or this is where the term breeding farms come from, when it's just really natural breedings. Anybody we deem that we think is a slave or being prejudiced, we're going to call them a slave. We're going to say if they get pregnant, that baby now becomes a slave, so we can keep making more slaves over and over and over again." So yes, you're absolutely right. They weren't going back and keep getting more slaves. They were creating their own slaves with the people who are already here. King, go ahead. What's your question?
So yeah, so speaking on that, my research, I saw that the United States, or the Americas, outlawed going to get slaves in 1808. So there was a period of time where they were not going over to Africa to get slaves. But my question is this: if the
Okay.
people here that were indigenous, and then you had these other group of people that came here, the Europeans, and these people waged war upon them to, they quote unquote enslave. I don't think they were enslaved. I think they were prisoners of war. Now, hear me out when I say this, because if we were already here, and then you had these people that came here, these Europeans, and they came here, they had to wage war on us to get us to submit,
Correct.
to get us to be able to allow us to put down arms. So I don't think we were enslaved. I think they need to change slavery to prisoners of war.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have any rebuttal to that. That's absolutely right. Prisoners of war. Um. Yeah. We were prisoners of war. Basically, we was on this landmass fighting back since 1526. 1526 was the first documented reported revolt. Over there in Virginia, South Carolina. I think South Carolina. And yeah, it's been war on blacks since then. Absolutely correct, brother. Um, I use the term slave interchangeably, but yes, prisoners of war. Gavin, talk to me, brother. What's going on?
saw something about Native Americans. I know you guys in the States have this particular view on a few things. I just wanted to understand what this whole conversation was about.
Okay. You
I've
have any
just come.
questions? You have any questions?
I'm asking the question, what's this debate specifically about?
So we're trying to unpack and discover where did these so-called Native Americans come from?
Okay, so when we're talking about Native American, I believe from what I'm hearing that we're talking about the Indian-looking people, right?
Supposedly correct, yes.
Okay. My understanding is that they were both black and Indian people in the Americas. I think, in my own view, black people populated the entire planet. We have ruled the world for like 300,000 years. Other ethnicities are a new thing to the planet. So it would only be natural that black people are indigenous to all corners of the earth first.
Correct. Exactly.
And then you have mutations. If we're looking at historians like Dr. Ivan Sertima, he would quite honestly say that from the Olmecs, which is, going from a long, long, long time ago, further than Mansa Musa, Africans have been coming to the Americas. Even Christopher Columbus, in his second journal to Queen Isabella, he talks about finding gold-tipped spears here in the Americas, which came out of in the region of the Ghana Empire. Additionally to that, there's lots of other European explorers that talk about seeing lots of villages of black people in the Americas. So I think black people were in the America way before Columbus got here. Not to mention, we go back to 1492. We skip the whole point that black people ruled Europe for 700 years. And it was only in the 2nd of January, 1492, that Queen Isabella and Ferdinand conquered the last black kings in Granada, which is like a southern region of Spain now. And they then went into the libraries to get all the information to find out where the black Moors had been going to, which is obviously the Americas. And both the Pinana and the Santa Maria, the two boats that came to the Americas, were both sailed by black sailors who had been on the journey before.
There you go.
So I don't think this was an expedition to really find the new world. I think it was an expedition to find out where they think the wealth of Africans had been coming from. You've got to remember the map at the time, around 1492, a new map was done where they had things like, Mansa Musa on a map, and Guinea being called the Gold Coast. Black people at that time were seen like how I presume that you look at Arab sheikhs today, very wealthy. That was the view of black people in the 1400s, just in the beginning. So it's difficult for them to try and comprehend where the money's coming from, and they followed that trail and sort of like come to the Americas thinking that's where it's come from. So when I talk about, I should say, indigenous people of America, well, it's difficult because people have different terms for the word indigenous. If you're going to be point blank, the whole world's black. There's no other understanding. We were there for 300,000 years. As the whole world is indigenously black. But then we have this kind of new kind of age of, well, right now the majority of that area is Chinese, or the majority of that area is Arab, or the majority of that area is now Indian at that moment of time. When we talk about America, or the United States of America, we're talking about one of the newest countries in the world. Christ's sake, it's only 250 years old. It's like a baby that was born yesterday when it comes to time and history. So we look at them talking about Indians being there. Do I believe Indians were there? They probably were. They were probably all over the United States. There's lots of things in Mexico with the Aztecs and stuff showing that there were perhaps Indian people there. But most of Mexico was black. The first president of the United States was black. The first president of Mexico was black.
Right.
Majority of the inventions in the world have been made by black people, down to GPS, the mobile phone. There's very few things that has come out of what we call the white world. So going back to your Native American and Indian thing, I think you could qualify them all. I think a black person can be indigenous to America. I think an Indian could, if he wants to claim it, because it's the first time they mutated, can be indigenous to the area because it's the first time they come into existence as well. And I do definitely think that half the tribes that were in America, who were what you call American Indians, were also black. The Cherokee, as an example, was definitely a black tribe.
There you
They
go.
were called freemen, my understanding,
There you
originally.
go. Uh-huh.
And eventually, when they kind of wanted to cast all black people under one thing, they eventually, I suppose, made them Negroes. You know, it's a confusion of language change and how we try to put people under one banner. And I heard you saying something earlier. You know, Chinese used to be coming under the term black. Well, Italians used to come under the term black as well.
Exactly.
You know, so in America, so it's just a demographic division which can become confusing. But what do we mean by the term? Where did the Native Americans come from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So what are we talking about in
So
that sense?
okay, so the people that they have right now on the Dawes Rose list, we have people I guess red skin color claiming that they're Native American, and then they fight us tooth and nails and say that we're not indigenous because we're black. So if I'm calling myself indigenous, who the hell is you? So now we're asking the question, where did you come from? Is the real question, because we know we're black indigenous. So where did you come from? And but go ahead if you can answer that question. Where did these, I guess, these off version or the people that they gave the title to back in the 1900s, where did they come from?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, so from my point of view, people have made journeys throughout a lot of periods of time. If there was black people here before the slave trade, and black people came also after in the slave trade, the bottom line is they all came from Africa before and after, because Africa was the beginning.
Okay.
So they can still, in theory, call themselves an African, but then so can a white person. Because
Oh,
if
yeah, yeah,
if the
yeah.
world came out of Africa, there is nothing else but black to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So scientifically, I think everyone traces themselves back to a black human being.
I see what you're saying, and I see. You're trying to say that you still think that there are old group of people that went through a mutation, and they became the color and the mixing that they are today. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, the reality is we haven't seen any signs of white people more than 8,000 years ago.
Okay.
Before that, everything was black. They obviously come from the Caucasus Mountain, Georgia, around the Black Sea, and from there they spread in different directions, particularly into Europe, because at one point Europe was all black. There was no white people in Europe.
Okay.
If you go back to Benjamin Franklin, which is going back to your American history, he quite literally said, why should our children follow the ways and the customs of the Germans? Because at that time, Germany was a heavily
So
black
I'm
populated.
gonna say this real quick because I'm gonna cut it short and say what I think. So
Yeah.
what I think is, yes, you're correct. Everybody started off from Africa. That's a blank statement because was supposed to, if y'all believe that. I don't know. I don't really go into the whole everybody came out of Africa or America might be older. It's irrelevant to me. But if we do go with everybody came out of Africa, yes, correct. They would have came out of Africa. But my point is, okay, I think that they went through the people who are here today that they're claiming the red man to be Native Americans. I personally think they went through an ethnogenesis and they kind of sort of separated themselves from Africa. And then they came and migrated to America way later. We got some people in the comments that said Siberia. They came from Siberia, Peninsula, what we want to call it, where they migrated over. I think that's way
Damn
too
straight.
early. I don't think they came from there neither. I think this group of people who are called Native American are a fairly new group of people, like the Mexicans. I think they started coming around maybe in the 1500s, and I think they're a mixed group of people, mixed in with
Admixed.
the admixture of the Chinese, admixture of European, and admixture of maybe black. In the records I told you in 1854, they called every Chinese person equivalent to an Indian by status. They said, we think that you guys are as smart as Indians, to whatever the point that's supposed to make. And the Dawes Rolls Act, started by a white person who came out with that in the 1900s, clearly put whoever he wanted as Native American or Indian in the Rolls Act. So who's to say he didn't put those supposedly who were Chinese but called Indian in that Dawes Rolls Act? And then the first pictures of a Native American didn't come out until 1960. And then, okay, let's say Siberia. Let's say they did come across the Siberia in 15,000 years ago. They still wouldn't be, they should be way darker than what they are now, if that was the case. Between all the intermingling that happened between slaves, the colonizers, they wouldn't be what they look like right now. They are the same complexion and I guess the same phenotype as Mexicans. And Mexicans didn't come around to the 1500s. See what I'm saying?
Not to mention AI, those pictures you mentioned that were published in the 60s were propagandized. They were skewed. I can't remember the guy's name, but those images of the stereotypical Native American that we see nowadays, you know, that was a very specific group that was chosen for the image of Native Americans. I know personally, I had the experience of being on a reservation in North Carolina in the Lumberton area, and one of the first Native Americans I met over there, the Joker had an afro. You see what I'm saying? So we definitely have to take a we've got to take a broader look on this whole quote unquote Native American image first and foremost. And then Gavin, I will give you props, man. Not many people are willing to admit the traveling of the Africans to the mainland United States. A lot of people want to deny that, and a lot of people also like to deny the journals that the Europeans were writing down in when they were describing the natives that they saw, the natives that they experienced, because that people try to ignore that part, but it's just like, well, wait a minute, these people are saying that they were running into natives that had Negroid features, that had, you know, coarse, kinky hair, that had, you know, the features that our brother AI have, that the features that I have. You know what I'm saying?
We hear that a lot coming out of the Americas, but in Europe, that's like common knowledge. It's very strange.
I had a coworker from India, from Bangladesh, and he even said that. So that's very interesting, because apparently everybody else knows, but the people who actually live here.
It's really strange because, you know, there was loads of voyages from Africa to the Americas. I mean, tons of them by lots of different people. Okay. Even the Chinese with one of the empires. I can't remember the name of the Pacific emperor, but even they were in America way before the Christopher Columbus. And Christopher Columbus only got there because they had information from black people about how to get there, and he had black sailors to take him there
and translators.
Okay, it's
kind of like silly to even think that they were the first.
Handsome Zoe, go ahead, brother. Where you from, brother?
What's good, family? I'm from Cleveland. So,
all right, man, talk to me, man.
What's going on? So, you know, I remember one time you had posted a video like a while back. You know, I joined TikTok not less than a year.
Okay.
You had said something that really stuck to me. You said you was like, on every inch of the landmass around the world, wherever it's hot at, is dark melanated people. You had said something similar to that.
Wait, hold on, brother. I couldn't hear. It's like your mic was away from you.
I said you had said in every landmass around the world where it's hot at, very hot at, there are dark melanated people until it got to the Americas.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. My point, I know a video. I was trying to say, how the hell could dark people be over here because it's hot, but when we come to America, they ain't dark no more. America hot too.
Yeah, you think about like you said. I think you
parts
said
of America was hotter than Africa.
I think you said you from Africa. I mean, you said you from Florida, right? Yeah. Florida always been hot as fuck. It wasn't hot in the 14. It went hot in the 1300s. It just got hot when the white people settled over here.
Exactly. You're
I
right.
mean,
Exactly.
Texas. I live in Texas. Texas got hot in 1592. It wasn't hot before 1592. It wasn't hot in these hot ass areas, Arizona, all these places. And
Right.
like you said,
Exactly.
you just brought it up. They skin didn't darken at all after all this heat. Nothing. It just been that red, sometimes Mexican look, whatever look they got out there for like the people who played the wolves in Twilight. That look, I think that's the look. but
Right.
they always just stayed that complexion. Like you ain't no black nothing.
So
Even East Indians, even East
you
Indians
didn't
black
move
as.
an inch. Y'all didn't move an inch. Y'all didn't go from light to the dark. You just stayed in the middle.
Listen, even East Indians is black as fuck, and I know they has been left Africa probably thousands of years ago. I met some black ass East
Them
Indians.
niggas black as hell.
Right, so I'm just like when you said that, like I always figured we was from here because it's no different. Like growing up, you remember they told us George Washington teeth was made out of wood.
Right.
Trying to find out they were slave teeth, right?
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, and they had us in middle school could color his teeth brown the whole time. But that's it. One
Hey,
thing,
you didn't know that, brother?
yeah, they was slave
I
teeth.
didn't know George Washington
Yeah.
T got
Yeah,
slave
George
teeth.
Washington,
Yeah.
he had slave teeth and his nasty tail had horse teeth. They had
Yeah.
like horse and slave teeth. This
It's
vile
a filthy
stuff.
motherfucker, right? But the thing about it is, what America do is the same thing those Middle Easters do in Egypt right now. Like they will tell you that the ones that look like DJ Khaled is native to Egypt, but we all
Right.
know like a native Egyptian look probably as a darker melanated native person. You know, they knocked off all the noses over the years and all that stuff on the statues and all that. But if you was to ask one of them right now, they would say a native Egyptian looks like the one that's a DJ Khaled like a motherfucker.
Right.
So
Exactly. It's the same thing.
so
Right.
so basically what they're doing, like since we don't, unfortunately, it's reality. We don't control the education system. We don't control the media here. So they can kind of push whatever line they want to because they got the money to back it, and then they'll just find a black guy that look like me and you to push it as well. So I remember Oprah Winfrey did this back in the early 2000s or late 90s. She put the propaganda out there that there was no black people with native ancestry, and her black platform was one of the biggest ones. So you know how it is with us. For some reason, when one black person says something that maybe we all think it, I don't know where that narrative came from. But by Oprah pushing that narrative and pushing that, oh, we any dark skinned motherfucker just come from Africa, like I don't know where that narrative came from. And then, like I said, there's a lot of African, shout out to African brothers, by the way, but like there's a lot of Africans who push it. If you were just a dark skinned nigga like me and you, oh, well, what part of Africa you from? Like, nigga, no. You don't own the black phenotype simply because you African, bro. Or you're West African. And it do get a little irritating. But I don't want to like simply change it. I do want to actually, I've been wanting to talk to you. I did want to ask you a question. Then we can go back to this topic. And then if you want to do it, so can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you claim the international FBAs?
International FBAs? What the hell is that? What is that?
So basically, like the ones that weren't born in America, but their parent is from America. So
Okay.
so you like a J. Cole, Drake, Kyrie Irving,
Okay.
because
Well,
I know some people won't claim Drake, but it's family from Memphis. Like Drake homeland is America. A lot of people don't realize like she's from Memphis.
so the problem with Drake is this:
Go
Drake
ahead.
isn't considered FBA because his mother is Jewish, which is not a problem. His father is Black American, so he has FBA lineage. The problem is he was raised outside of the USA. He was raised in America by his Jewish mother.
So
and
let me
he
ask you
taught
this.
his Jewish culture.
So let me ask you this. So those East African kids that Angelique Jolie adopted, are they still East African even though they weren't raised in East African culture?
Who are their parents? Who birthed them?
Some East African people.
Okay, so East African. So he has two East African parents.
No, I'm talking about Angelique Jolie, the actress. She adopted two East African kids when they was younger. I think one of them go to Howard now. I think.
Okay.
Are those kids still East African even though they was not raised in East African culture?
Yeah, you can't take away somebody's lineage, but culture.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That FBA is a lineage. That's why I asked you
Brother,
that you claim the
but
FBA lineage.
But
Sorry,
yes.
Handsome, he wasn't born in Drake wasn't born in the U.S.
I know, understand that, but
what's
to me,
FBA?
so listen,
Hold on,
hold on. To
one
me,
at a time. Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead,
hold
brother.
on. I'm gonna ask this question. To me, it's a lineage regardless of where you're born. Your lineage is what you are, regardless. Like the weekend, he's Ethiopian. He was born in Canada. That's just his lineage. He just born in his Drake's
So okay,
nationality.
wait, hold on, brother, because
No,
I gotta slow you down real quick. I see what you're trying to say, and I see what you're doing. You can't erase somebody's, like for me, for
right,
instance, my mother is Jamaican, my father is FBA,
right.
but I grew up in my father's house. My father raised me, so I'm culturally more Black American
Yes,
than I am Jamaican.
correct.
So culturally, that's who I am.
Culturally, yes, but
Right,
culturally and ethnicity,
and lineage wise, that's who I am.
yeah, but yeah, you're both.
But
He's
Drake,
both.
but hold on, Drake was raised in a Jewish household outside of America.
I agree.
He barely seen his father like that, except for the summer times, and he had a damn what they call it when they put on the Jewish hat. He had
Yeah, I agree.
so
But
okay,
The
so
yarmulke.
I agree with that,
right,
right?
so the problem is we noticed that people would have half a lineage of FBA and something else, but that don't mean you align yourself with Black ideologies. You
I
see
agree
what I'm
with
saying?
that.
We
I
had
agree with that.
Kamalo Anthony get on stage and talk about some. I want to give a big shout out for his Hall of
Puerto
Fame or
Ricans, right?
Hall or whatever. I want to give a
Yeah.
big shout out to Puerto Rico. Nigga,
Right,
since when you was Puerto Rican, nigga?
right.
Since
And I agree
when?
with you. And listen,
My
I
daddy was Puerto
understand.
Rican.
I mean,
Right.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but regardless if the person's a sellout, regardless the person was not. So here's the thing about international FBAs, right? Here's the thing: majority of international FBAs are by. We're not like, because think about it. Someone like Busta Rhymes, he's an international Jamaican. His homeland is Jamaica, but he was raised in New York. The thing usually about Black Americans who are international, they're usually biracial, like the J. Cole, the Tony Parkers of the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know if you know he had Black American too. Ben Simmons, them, they're all the Black Australian basketball players.
Yeah.
Like the thing about ours are usually biracial. So I know there's some people who don't claim biracial people. I understand that. But how I look at it is, regardless if you wasn't even raised or born in your shit, a perfect example, 21 Savage. He's not FBA, but he was raised more so FBA, but he's still not FBA regardless how he was raised within FBA culture from being here in America, from being here in America. So
So
regardless of who raised you or not, whatever your lineage is, you're born with your lineage. I can see if you say he's not culturally FBA, that are two different things. Culturally FBA and actually being lineage FBA are two different things. Two different things. You could be a coon, sellout, bootleg.
and
Your
still
lineage
be
is gonna be
right.
your lineage.
But to be honest, brother, that's the only thing that's really important. Somebody asked me the other day about saying that most sellouts or most of the people who went against the Black agenda were by ethnic FBAs, and I said everybody went against the Black agenda. Poor
Right.
FBAs, white people, immigrants, Black immigrants, everybody don't went against
Correct.
the Black American movement. So my whole stance is I'm more dedicated on your talking points and how you was raised culturally. So culturally, it matters to me who
Culture
you
matter.
was.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So just because you have FBA lineage, don't mean you're, you know what I'm saying, you're a part of the tribe or you believe in the rhetorics that or the agenda that we're pushing.
And I understand it, but see, so someone when you say
So
FBA
culturally,
lineage,
so when we say someone is not FBA, there could be two stands we can speak that from. We can speak that from lineage standpoint, saying, well, you don't have any FBA lineage, and then two, well, you wasn't raised culturally FBA, so we're not going to allow you to bandwagon FBA when it's convenient for you. So if I was banging Jamaica this whole time,
Mhm.
and I just all of a sudden came out and said, you know what, but I am FBA now. Now that them checks,
but you're not
the
lying. If
reparations
you said
checks
that.
about to drop. Yeah, everybody, well, hold on now, nigga. Weren't you just saying, you know what I'm saying? You wasn't even,
But that's the
you
thing,
didn't even
right?
say, right.
But here's the thing with that, right? We got to call a spade a spade. There's a privilege with coming with being by ethnic, biracial. You can claim, unfortunately, you can claim both. And like I know sometimes, like the Italians,
Yeah.
if you half Italian, they ain't gonna fuck with you. Like they'll still may call you Italian, but they ain't gonna call you a made man. So I understand if you're bi ethnic or biracial, that no, you can't speak for the full if you got 4 Black American grandparents. But at the same time, like I said, even if you're not raised with your FBA side, just ethnic lineage wise, you're still gonna be ethnically lineagely FBA, but FBA lineage is different.
But that's
Hold on.
not
So
that that's not enough.
a perfect example, right? Someone like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he has FBA lineage, but he's not FBA. That's what I was. That's what I would say when you say FBA lineage, but he's not FBA. I would consider Dwayne The Rock Johnson something like that because he's Nova Scotian, even though his people left America at one point in time due to slavery and went up to Canada. They had their own ethnogenesis. So I won't consider someone like Dwayne The Rock Johnson or his father a FBA, even though they have FBA lineage. But Drake, he is back and forth. He said he always claimed his Black American side in his music from day one, talking about Memphis in 2006. He was talking about his Black American dad story, growing up, his daddy.
Wait a minute.
He always spoke about it, even if you don't believe it.
Handsome. So did The Rock. The Rock
was
also.
just saying it because it was convenient, because he was a rapper. You're not gonna be around no Lil Wayne talking about some shout out to Canada. Bitch, nobody gives a fuck about Canada.
He was shouting out Canada. He was shouting out Canada. He was doing both.
After he done got the fame and notoriety off of hanging around some down south southern niggas like Lil Wayne, Cash Money Records shouting out Bun B, Pimp C.
Yeah.
So he bit off that style. He bit off the style of southern culture. See what I'm saying? To go ahead.
His people from the South. How can you bite up a style where your people from?
Because you can't. Okay, we acting like an angry man from California didn't already explain all this in they beef. Let's not. If you're confused about all that, just listen to Kendrick's beef with Drake, and you'll understand what we talking about.
I understand what Kendrick, but at the end of the day, Kendrick and Drake have the same exact ancestors.
That's the
funny part.
So he.
No, but isn't that funny though?
Brother.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Hold on, brother.
Kendrick and Drake have the same exact ancestors.
Listen, brother. You can't erase somebody's lineage. You are correct.
Correct. Yeah.
But culturally, how you was raised and your talking rhetorics is more important than your lineage. We just
culturally is more important than your lineage.
Hold on. We just start off at somebody's lineage. Lineage gets you in the front door. So when we say, okay, who are you? You say, well, I'm FBA or I'm half FBA. Okay, cool. What are your talking points? Well, I think y'all deserve I don't think y'all deserve reparations. Okay, you got to go. So your talking points is the next step, and you get your talking points from culture, from who you.
I can understand that.
See what I'm saying? So, for prime example, me personally, forget what everybody else talking about. Me personally, if there's two people who's being elected in office, and one is fully FBA and one half FBA, if the full FBA niggas say, I don't think you niggas need to be worried about reparations, I'm not voting for that nigga. Exactly. If the half FBA niggas say, you know what, we need to be dedicated to getting reparations out as soon as possible. That nigga got my vote today, tomorrow, and the next week.
But even to me, how I look at it is, he ain't gotta be FBA at all. If he's talking about giving us reparations, I still might vote for that motherfucker simply because he's saying he's having the point of giving it because he's. So, but at the end of the day, brother, like I was saying, like even though you were raised with your father's side, like I said, I met Jamaicans who have. The one thing about Caribbeans, I met a lot of half Black American, half Caribbean kids just growing up and shit. There's some who raised with the Jamaican side, some who raised with their father's side, wherever the case may be. How I always internalized the FBA when it came about, it was always just lineage first. I understand culturally, like Drake is not a Tristan Thompson, Tory Lanez. Drake was born with his American citizenship because his father was his father. He had his American citizenship from birth. Okay. He had no different than J. Cole, no different than Kyrie Irving, but just his father was just living in Canada when he had him. And to me, let me ask you this.
Nigga, you a Drake fan, nigga.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Is it fair?
There it is.
Hold on, but is it fair because your parents divorced at 5 or 6 years old, it takes your lineage away?
Nigga, did you read the Drake book, nigga? Did you read his biography, nigga?
I'm asking you the question.
God, you quoted every song. You know You know his sad story. God, is this the Drake reunion?
No, I just want to ask you. I just want to ask you that. Like, is it fair to take someone's lineage because their parents broke up?
Nigga, listen,
we never took the lineage, brother.
No one's taking his lineage.
No one's taking his lineage. I think the issue is this. Here's the issue. Just because you get to see your pappy during summer break in Memphis, but then the rest of the year you up there in that Arctic climate with them polar bears and with them and then the maple leaf drinkers guy. Listen, there's a stark distinction, brother. Here's the thing. Here's my thing. And somebody said it in Afro Elites Live the other day, or today actually. If you make a cake, right, and it is deemed as a vanilla cake, but you throw the eggs and you throw the sugar in there, and you only focusing on the eggs and sugar, but the whole thing's a vanilla cake. Is it an egg cake? Is it a sugar cake? Or is it a vanilla cake, brother?
Sure, they got all the ingredients in it, so I'll still probably call it a vanilla cake. But
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we on that. All right. So as much as we want to admit, or as much as you want to like acknowledge Drake's, Black American side, because his pops is from Memphis, and I'll give him that. But at the same time, the brother, even though his pops is a chocolate cake, Drake was raised as a vanilla cake, brother. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
Drake was raised as a vanilla
get
cake.
that. So like now, because like if you say cultural, did he grow up in the FBA culture? No. I think culture and lineage are two different things.
No, it is. You're right. It is.
Yeah.
But what AI is saying is that I would lean towards the guy who is raised in the culture than the guy who is not raised in the culture, even if he has a lineage.
So
Right.
it's 21 Savage. So what would you say about 21 Savage then? What would you consider him?
We don't give a fuck about 21 Savage.
I just want to make
What FBA rhetoric?
He didn't. He never. Yeah, he never did. He never. But the thing about it is, one thing I noticed when you're FBA as an artist, I don't know if y'all noticed this as an FBA artist. One thing you're gonna always mention is our history, even if you're making light of it, even if you're making light of the history, or being very serious about it. So I remember. I think you spoke about it, brother AI. I think you spoke about it. Remember a while back, Drake had said, "Whips and chains, you like American slaves" or something like that. One of his songs.
Yeah.
And it was a big and there's a real big uproar. And like, why would he say that?
Right.
Think about it. He spoke about his history. He wasn't speaking about. He would have said Jamaican or Bahamian.
Yeah,
because
but he
they was
had
slaves
no
too, right?
reverence or respect, brother. That's the point. You just helped us make our point. When he said that line, there was no reverence and there was no respect behind it. Why do you think he didn't have any reverence or respect behind that line? Because he was raised in the culture.
But here's the thing, right? Now here's the thing.
You guys
Hold
going
on,
on about
brother.
Drake
I got a
the whole
question for you,
night.
bro. I got a question
Can
for you.
someone help the non-American figure out what the hell you guys are talking about? Because I'm
Hold on,
lost.
give me a second.
Sorry,
I got a question for you, brother. What do you want us to do? What is your point? What are you trying to say? What do you want us to do?
No, I was just basically back to the point of the conversation. Do you claim the international FBAs even if they weren't raised?
No, I do not. I do not.
I got you.
No. I don't denounce their lineage. I just don't accept them. Only if they have the same talking points. Like, okay, prime example, Gavin.
Yeah.
Do you think Black Americans deserve reparations?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right, simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say why just Black Americans?
You see, never mind.
That's what I'm saying, Derek.
He killed. Okay, so there we go. Gavin. I'm glad. Gavin,
Like, what about Jamaicans?
No, you good, Gavin. You good. You did a great job. You did a good job, Gavin. I wouldn't expect nothing less or more from you. That was great. So that's a prime example. So Gavin's an international Black person. I don't know who he was raised by. He could be he's in Europe right now. He could have two FBA parents, but in Europe. But you hear that talking rhetoric? Yes, I think you deserve reparations. He almost was good, but then he said, "Why don't we all get? Hold on now, nigga. Why are we talking about everybody else?" So you're talking. So the reason why he said that is because he lacks FBA parents. He didn't grow up in an FBA household, and he doesn't understand the history and culture. So therefore, I wouldn't accept Gavin as an FBA culturally, even if he had the lineage. It's the rhetoric in his culture, brother.
I understand it. Culturally, I can understand if they're not FBA, but
you want reparations because you were slaves, but so were us British guys.
Hold up. Pause. Gavin, I get your point, but let me be very crystal clear. We, as Black Americans, as foundationally Black Americans, we want reparations specifically because the United States federal government, United States federal government backed chattel slavery in the continental United States. Okay? We want reparations from the United States federal government. Now, I'm not saying that Jamaicans and that and other Caribbeans don't deserve reparations. They just need to get their claim from their personal oppressors. That's all I'm saying. That's the distinctions. That's the difference. And wait a minute before I mute.
I agree with you.
Where'd you go? Furbo, I need you to stop saying we are xenophobic. You've been saying it this whole time in the comments, and I'm confused. We are very friendly over here. We just don't accept
hold
disrespect.
on, sir. No. I'm xenophobic. I'm the xenophobic king. You motherfucking right. I believe in separation, division. I want y'all niggas over there to the left. If there was a line and they said FBA is over here, I want you niggas over there. You damn right. Yeah, keep tapping the xenophobic. Don't tell them that shit. I mean, xenophobic.
My bad, AI. Let me not speak for you, brother. My fault. My fault.
Hey, yeah. So I want to ask you this because you
Wait,
brought
hold on. Here's the goddamn brother. You asked too many questions. Let's get some other people talking. You can stay on the panel, but goddamn, dude, talk to me, dude. What's going on? I'll meet your mic, dude.
Hey, I got it. I'm here.
Yeah, I hear you now. What's your name? Where you from, dude?
I'm currently in Louisiana. What's going on?
Talk to us. Are you a Caucasian?
Yes.
Okay, talk to me. What's going on, dude?
Well, I'm just asking you. Here's what I'm hearing from you. You're making an argument that everybody came from black people in Africa.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that shit.
Huh?
I didn't say that. That didn't come out my mouth.
Okay, what's your point?
My mouth, dude. I was the one who said that.
Out your mouth? Okay. Well, I agree from the area, and I also want talking about Babel and all that other stuff. Okay, but now Native Americans, let's go ahead and talk about this.
Okay. Yeah, us? Well, who's us?
But everybody's disagreeing here. There's both sides here, so let's go ahead and hear.
Okay. Do you classify yourself as a Native American dude?
Huh? I actually do have Native American blood in me, but I'm mostly Caucasian.
Okay, dude. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Come on.
Nowadays, why does that matter to me?
I can't hear what you just said. Can you repeat yourself, dude?
Nowadays, why does that matter to me?
Why does what matter to you?
Being a Native American.
Being Native American because you're appropriating somebody else's history and culture that doesn't belong to you.
I'm trying to understand your history and I want to get along with you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so what's the issue?
I just said it. Being in someone else's history and appropriating their culture.
Beating somebody else's history. What did I do to beat your history?
Being inside someone else's history, taking their history and appropriating their culture.
You're totally confusing me here. Why do I respect
you? Gotta talk slower. He's from the bayou. He's saying that
I'm not from
stop
the bayou.
Trying to copy if you're from the bayou. You got that, dude?
No, that's going to be perfectly right because I was born in Biloxi, Mississippi. And I've lived in 29 states in 3 different countries. Okay, and I'm a military brat.
Okay.
But I don't really have any hypocrisy against anybody.
Okay, do you think black Americans deserve reparations, dude?
No, I don't.
Hey, we got a white supremacist. Hey,
let's go.
Hey,
I was waiting for it.
Supremacist. Hey, it's so easy to catch him. So that's all you got to say. Do you believe we deserve reparations? What's that? No, you don't. No, son, no, you don't. You niggers was out there slaving, and I think you niggers should have stayed out there with no compensation. Dude, that's very racist of you.
He understood that clearly. He understood that part.
Let me ask you a question. Where did you grow up in slavery?
You said what?
Where did you grow up in slavery?
Does compensation or reparations have a deadline, sir?
Well, you're saying being
does genocide have a deadline? Is there a time where you're supposed to stop paying someone that you owed? Did you stop paying the Uish people that you guys are still currently paying when that happens? what, 100, 200 years ago? Or how about the Native Americans who still benefit off of government assistance, healthcare, when they're now a new group of people? Or how about the Japanese that you guys still pay now for the unaliving bombing that happened over there? So what does me have to be in the current group of people have to do with anything when y'all paying current groups of people who are the same people who suffered during those tragedies?
Okay, well, I didn't hear your argument before, so educate me.
I just did.
Dude, come on, don't come in with bad faith. You know the tragedies and the and all the disgusting things that the Europeans have done to other groups, and they figured out a way to pay him back. So why all of a sudden when we decide, hey, you know what, I think we should get our piece too, why is it now an issue, dude? That's my question to you. Why is it an issue now?
Here's playing an issue of I didn't live back then, and I'm here with you now. And
No, dude, no. What I'm saying is that y'all are still paying, dude.
I would actually stop everything you're saying happens.
Oh, so you just don't give a damn about nothing.
Hey, dude, let me ask you this, dude. Let me ask you this.
I don't give a damn about nothing.
Hey, dude, hold on, dude. Let me ask you this, dude.
I don't have a problem learning my history, but I have a problem paying for something that I didn't have a problem with.
Wait.
Perfect. Hold on, perfect. Because white supremacists love to use this. I hope it don't come out my pockets. It can't. No, sorry, it can't come out my pockets. The fuck am I paying for some niggers for out my pocket, dude? What proof do you have that it's coming out your pockets? Do you know where your taxes go, dude? Do you ever question that, dude? How do you know it's coming out your pockets? Who said it's coming from you, dude? Unmute your mic, dude. Your mic, dude. It's the thing that got the microphone with the X going through it, dude.
Grandpa, press mic. Grandpa, press that thing that says mic. It looks like a microphone.
Oh, God damn. Anyways, he gets that. Go ahead,
He's cussing us right now. He's saying a whole bunch of niggas and all types of stuff right now.
Give him the chance to speak, or I would like to hear his side of the story. I don't agree with him, but when it comes down to the money, I would have said, well, the money that's in the bank is not money that was made yesterday. It's money that's been there for years. And if I want reparations, I'll take it from the money that's been there from donkeys years ago.
Would have been too much for him. He didn't even understand anything. Oh, he's back. Grandpa's back. Go ahead, dude.
Go ahead, dude.
I'm actually his grandpa.
Huh?
We know. I know. You're a proud one. Go ahead, Grandpa.
My problem. Okay.
So, dude, my question to you was, who said the money would have came out your pockets?
It's coming out of taxes, and I pay taxes.
When have you ever noticed your tax money leaving your pockets? Do you notice your tax money leaving your pockets now? Have you ever just said, are you telling me you ever looked at your pockets and, God damn it, them taxes done got me again?
Every single time I see my paycheck, I see my taxes, and I see them go up.
Hey, let me ask Grandpa a question.
Hold on, Dan. You do realize that the U.S. spent $20 trillion in 2020. Did you say, God damn it, I felt that $20 trillion? Did you say that in 2020?
I feel it every single time I look at my taxes coming out.
Did you? No, sir. Did you say that in 2020?
Yes, I did. Because I was still working in 2020.
Let me ask Grandpa something real quick, though. Grandpa.
First of all, the government doesn't even...
Hold on, John.
John, let me ask Grandpa something really fast.
Hold on, John.
I'm ready.
Grandpa, let me ask you a question, because you said you're a proud military brat. You couldn't wait to get up here and tell us how proud you are of being a military brat. So being that you're a military brat, that means that you and your mom or your parents received military benefits. You're not the one serving in the military, but you're getting military benefits, and my taxes or my grandparents' taxes were paying for that. You didn't go fight in any war, but since you're a beneficiary of the person of the military, we're paying for that. So you're entitled to our taxes and our bills because your dad fought for the country, but our ancestors who built the country were not entitled to those same benefits.
Great point.
Explain that to me, Grandpa.
First of all, those who earned it, it's called retirement. Okay, and second,
My parents built this country. My grandparents, because it's not too far ago, my great grandparents, my great great grandparents built this country. I don't deserve the same benefits that you got as a military brat.
do you understand the difference of somebody not want to do a fucking thing for a job?
No, no, it's okay, guys. He's crashing out because he got nailed to the cross.
Dude, you're just racist and you're white supremacist and
I'm racist for somebody who doesn't want to do it.
you're pulling the whole I'm white and I say so. That's it.
Let me ask, dude. I'm gonna ask him a very
Hold on,
recent.
can I say something real quick?
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
John, I
John.
get you.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, anytime these people get on here and bring up taxes in reference to why they don't support reparations, it just goes to show how much they do not know. First of all, the government funds itself off of municipal bonds. A municipal bond is basically anytime someone has a warrant, they get a parking ticket, a traffic ticket, anything of that nature. What the courts do is they monetize it and they sell it on the secondary market. And that's why it's called a municipal bond, like stocks and bonds that they sell on the stock market.
Right.
So the government makes plenty of money and they got plenty of money set aside just off municipal bonds alone. Taxes does not fund the government. I don't know why people think that.
Not to mention all the gold they stole in the 1930s. They still got that gold. If y'all didn't remember, they still got that gold. And dude, let me ask you something. When your boy in Utah, you know, when he went through that little situation where he took a bump of fent and sporadically started seizing everywhere, how did that make you feel? Dude, oh, he cussing us again. That's why he on mute.
Notice he didn't cuss at y'all. I'm the only female on the panel, and he chose to use those languages with me. Thanks for standing up for me, AI. Thank you.
Hold on. Don't worry. I'm waiting on him. I didn't forget about that.
Don't do that to me. I'm gonna tell y'all what be happening. When certain people be talking and they talk very slow, I got ADHD in my head. So if you talking way too slow, I zone the fuck out and I'm thinking about a million things. So I'm not even hearing what he's saying until someone else talks. So if he did cuss you out, oh damn, I'm so sorry. We're gonna get this redneck racist cracker right now.
No, as soon as he said a cuss word, you stopped him. All y'all kind of stopped him right away.
What did he say?
He said something like, what the fuck, or used fucked in the word when I was just explaining the benefits. He was starting to crash out.
Oh, I did not hear him at all.
Y'all didn't hear him?
I didn't hear him.
Yeah, but at the same time, we were taking the kind of mick out of him using terms like grandpa. I didn't expect to get a good conversation out of him if we're gonna kind of talk to him like that.
Hey, look.
Yeah, but Gabby, you gotta
understand. Y'all go ahead and say that about me all you want to. How about
dude? Wait a minute, dude. You got to answer my question real quick, brother. How did you feel when your guy in Utah got them hot ones? Because I know you a big CK
totally do
fan.
not understand your question.
Okay. Let me talk slow. Let me talk slow then. When your boy in Utah, when Captain Kirk got hit by them hot ones, how did that make you feel?
Upset.
Okay. Now let me ask you another question. Okay. Do you believe in the same things he believed in?
Yes.
So you believe in all of it?
Not all. I don't know the man. I never sat down with dinner with the dude, and I didn't talk with him, and I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
How about it? How about if I can have a conversation with you and we believe together in something?
Okay, dude. Then okay. I'm confused because this whole time you've kind of just been saying stuff, but it seems like you've also been trying to avoid the elephant in the room when it comes to who you are.
Okay, tell me who I am, and that's your opinion.
No, I'm asking you, dude. I'm asking you, dude, because you don't believe that black people.
Let me ask you a question about taxes, plain and simple. Okay. You understand that America is in a deficit and owes China money.
Sure,
You understand?
sure.
Okay. How can we fix that?
I don't know. You need to ask you.
Stop
You
buying
that's
stuff from China. Do you owe anything in your house that is from China right now, dude? Don't lie. Your phone's probably made in China, your electronics. So please stop the cap.
Do I own anything in China right now? Yeah, I have it in my hand right now. It's called a phone.
Right. So you're supporting what you're against. It seems like you're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're contradicting yourself.
also, dude. I need you to apologize to her because you cussed at her, and I
I
don't want to.
did. I did try to apologize to
Okay,
her,
well, I didn't hear. I didn't hear it. So
and
let
three
me make
people.
sure you say it.
Okay, you hear this, ma'am? If I offended you, I apologize. Okay, but three people were talking over me at the same time, also, so I did not personally pick you out. And I
Well,
said,
I accept your apology, but no one was talking over you. I was talking directly to you. But your
and
apology is accepted. We'll move past it. Thank
okay,
you.
three other people were talking at the same time, and that's why I said, "What the fuck?" Okay, but it was not
You
directed
still
at you
didn't
personally.
answer my question that you cursed at me about. If you
It was
receive military benefits as a beneficiary, you and your mom and your family from your dad being in the military, even though you never put on boots, your mom never went out there and served, but you still got those benefits from our taxes to pay for you as a dependa and your mom or the wife. Why does that not apply to people like my ancestors who built the country, fought for this country, and made this country great? Why does it only apply to you?
it applies to me because my dad tried it, but my parents got divorced, and I had a hard life too.
Okay, but you still got military benefits. I'm
Oh,
sorry to hear that. It
Lord.
doesn't stop you
No,
getting military
Okay.
benefits.
All right,
no,
dude.
no. I literally lived through 3 years of the military not paying child support and looking at a single mom put through hardship trying to make a single mom making herself better. And that's what taught me go do something for myself. And this is my message. Go do something for yourself.
Hold
Oh,
on,
so
hold
you're
on, hold on,
oh, so
hold on
you're
now,
pulling it
dude.
up by the
Hold on now, dude.
bootstraps,
Hold on,
huh?
hold on. Dude.
Huh.
What the fuck, bro? What the absolute fuck? Dude, we literally built this fucking country while you sat your white ass down in the yard and told us to build some shit, dude. What the fuck have you done, dude?
I'm a plumber.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, dude?
I'm a plumber.
Dude. Holy fucking shit, dude. The backs of America was built off of blacks. America was built off the backs of blacks, dude. You didn't do shit with your white ass, dude. If you would have done shit, you would have caught cancer from the sun, dude. We built this shit, dude. The
AI, he's
reason why
talking
you're
about
able
now,
to
not
be
back then.
the reason why you're able to be a plumber today, dude, which I could very believe that you're a plumber. You give plumber vibes to the thousands. The reason why you're able to be a plumber today, dude, is because of my ancestors. Not because your daddy went to go fight in the war, dude. Because of my ancestors, dude. Do you hear me, dude? You hear the words I'm saying to you? Unmute your mic. There you go. You hear what I'm saying to you, dude?
Somebody keeps on unmuting me. Okay.
I don't know who the fuck is doing that. Who gives a damn? Dude, my ancestors built this country, dude. So what are you
Yes.
talking about? And you didn't give
Yes.
him a goddamn dime. You didn't give him a goddamn dime for it, dude. And you promised for it. And you promised to do it, dude. So what the fuck is the excuse, dude?
I promised it.
Yeah, white people have promised it, dude.
I,
40 acres and a mule, dude. Did you
I
not
personally
read,
promised
dude?
it.
Do you not know your own great constitution, dude? Have you
Yes, I
not read
do.
the constitution of this great nation?
I'm asking you. I personally promise this.
It don't matter, dude. America has promised it, and you want America to go against it. Dude, you must be anti-American. You are anti-American, dude.
You're not
A
making any.
racist anti-American. The
Dude, how do you feel about the
stated,
Confederate
the
flag?
Constitution clearly stated that all people who have been in chattel slavery are owed 40 acres and a mule. And you want us to not get it. You are anti-American, dude.
Calling ICE. We're deporting them.
Dude, do you fly the Confederate flag, dude? Do you like the Confederate flag? What do you think of the Confederacy?
I think I just. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's your thoughts
yeah.
on the Confederacy, dude?
Huh?
What are your thoughts
Absolutely
on the
fucking ridiculous.
Confederacy and the Confederate flag, dude?
Okay. Honestly, what actually happened back in the day of the Confederacy is they were sitting there asking for more time to, not make slaves taxpayers.
Dude, what the hell, dude?
Same
How much you
time
been
too.
drinking tonight, man? That's
Hey,
me.
dude, lay off the beers, dude. You know what? We have a conversation where you
Dude, can I
sober
ask
the
you a
fuck up
question?
and stop being anti-American. Fuck, dude.
Dude,
Yeah,
would you be against reparations? Oh, you got rid of him.
yeah, no, we can't have one.
AI, can we address your friend Gavin, though, who came in here on his little gold African broom and tried to kumbaya us, but the whole time he was low key rooting for the white supremacists? That's why we
No,
can't
it's
trust them. He was low key cheerleading and kind of backing him up, like, oh, we shouldn't call him grandpa. Oh, that's why we can't trust them.
yeah.
They come
See,
back
the
with the
problem
little,
That was a little bitch ass, Gavin. I'll
Yeah,
admit
yeah.
it was
I
bitch
will
ass.
explain to you. I'll explain to you. I'm finding that recently I'm going through TikTok. I'm joining a lot of these American channels. I'm new to your American rhetoric. And I tend to find when we're trying to have a debate, there's a lot of I don't know how to describe it, like an attack. And we can't get to have a good conversation if we're attacking it. It's like, to me, I'll be honest, it's like a bunch of school kids, when you're trying to pick on someone in the playground. And although I don't believe in what he's saying, I want to get him and I want to get him good. I don't want to get him like, nah, 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 let's catch him out. Let's do it.
Well,
I'm not into
Gavin,
that.
this is the difference with you and I. This is the difference with American culture
Yeah.
and an anchor baby British person like you that came from Africa, your
Do you see
culture.
this? This is the
Wait, hold
problem.
on. Hold
Anchor,
on.
baby,
Hold
consistent
on.
use of
Be
words.
polite. You were being a
No,
polite
you're
British
being,
person 5 minutes ago. Hold on. I'm just simply saying that the difference is we know how to treat our oppressors. We know how to treat
Yes.
our enemies. We know who our enemies
Yes.
are. Unlike you, who's still over there after 600 years, like, well, I'm still trying to get to know them. Shut up. Either you're going to ride with us or you should just stay on mute. That's all we're saying. But I'm going to go back on mute. My bad, AI, to check your little friend.
You know what,
You talking about check my
sister?
little
You
friend.
again, this
sister,
is
you
what I'm
you
Hold
took
on,
the
fighting.
hold on, hold on,
Money
hold
words.
on.
useless.
Oh, you know what, Odell? You know what I noticed about you, Odell? Anytime you can take a shot at me to shame me, you always do it. Why do you always do that? Anytime you can shame me, you take the time out to shame me. Why? Why, Odell?
Because I got to make your guests feel like, you got their back a little bit.
Gavin, brother, Gavin, brother. You know, I say, I call it bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? When you try to have sympathy for the oppressor. When the oppressor ain't never had no sympathy for us. Hell yeah, we finna nan boo boo your ass after you try to
It
not give us
wasn't
reparations.
it
It is what
wasn't
it is.
sympathy. It was trying to get to a point. What I wanted to say to him was, would he accept reparations if the money wasn't coming from his pocket? And then I was going to say, back in the days, people paid taxes, right? There was profits that were made. Those profits sit in a bank and they grow interest. So the reparations that we would receive, or you guys from your American government would receive, was from money that had been banked back then and had now accumulated. It's not from him. Would that, because whenever these white people come
Gavin,
on
you don't
here,
know who you're
Hold on,
dealing with.
Odell. Hold
hold on,
on,
People
let me,
Odell.
talk.
please let me
Let me
finish.
I'm
When
gonna answer. I know where you're going with this. Let me answer for dude. I know exactly what dude would say because we know him. I know dude. I know him, maybe not personally, but I know his kind. He would have heard that British accent and what you said, and he would have said, "Shut the fuck up, nigger," and no.
Exactly.
So, you see
On top
the
of
whole,
that,
because here's the thing, you're giving him too much credit. You think he's an intellectual. He's not an intellectual. See what I'm saying? So he's not going to answer your question intellectually. He's going to go ahead and move the goalpost, and it's called I'm white and I say so. Shut the fuck up, nigger, and no, nigger. Go out there and work harder, nigger. Go get the fifth job. McDonald's is hiring, nigger.
Exactly.
So that's why we don't treat these people nicely, Gavin. It's not about catching them. They've been caught. They already are the most shameless people on the planet. There's nothing to intellectually get them with.
And not to mention, or not to forget to mention, Gavin, how do you reason with somebody whose ancestors used to eat your ancestors? The reasoning's gone after that. They used to eat us, man. I'm talking about 4-course meal, rendering
Yeah,
the fat,
they chalked
eating the
up that
liver.
shit.
I mean, they used to eat us, man. There's no reason. There's no conversation anymore.
Yeah, but you've got to remember you're asking them to pay you. So when you have to ask them to pay you the reparations, you've got to find a way where you
Hold
get
on,
to
Gavin.
agree.
I think there's some misunderstanding
I
here.
want them to agree to making the
There,
payment.
I get what you're saying, but there's some major and I think this is why like we get so frustrated with our people from the diaspora. Where
Yeah.
what made you think we were asking these people? What made you think we're asking? We're just letting them know, hey, you're going to have to pay us eventually.
I get what
There's
you're
no
saying,
asking. There's
but
no
they're
asking.
the one with the purse strings.
No, for now.
So, Gavin, the problem is you guys are not used to political warfare. You're not used to doing things strategically and whatnot. There's leverages and there's power that Black Americans have. It's called soft power in America. So we don't have the main power that white people have that comes from cohesion and force and colonizing people. We have soft power where our political influence, our culture influence has an impact not only in America, but the world. See what I'm saying? So we could pull these strings without kissing their ass like how you are trying to do. We've done it with the Black Panther Party. We've done it with the Civil Rights Movement. We've done this plenty of times. We didn't try to reason with them. The Martin Luther King approach, which I really am not too much a fan of, but I understand it now that I'm older. His whole idea was to shame them, to let the whole world see, look, these people are unreasonable. White people do not like to be shamed. They don't like to be called out for the disingenuous things they have done. That's why they like to say, why should I have to pay for something that I didn't do? They're trying to get rid of that history. They're trying to not have that attached to them because they hate to be shamed. And we got to keep pointing the fingers. You did this. You did that. This is the reason you need to pay now.
But that's exactly the point that I wanted to test a theory on. Because if you hear them,
They
you know, let
know
me
what
finish.
they know what they need to pay. There's no question about. I told him he was anti-American because they already owe 40 acres in a mule. That has already been documented. They know that. It's anti-American. That's the only way
Okay,
I can call it.
what I was saying was that he himself and many other white Americans, when I hear them speak, remember I'm not American, but whenever we ever hear these white supremacists in America speak, it's always the same line. I don't want to pay for something I didn't do. So I wanted to try a different theory. Okay, fair enough. But what if you don't pay for it? What if it comes from money that your grandfather earned when he did do it? Would that make a difference? I want to challenge them to their own theory.
I get you, Gavin. You want to play with him? We're not here to test no theory. And like I said, shut the fuck up, nigger. I don't care. Work another job. Anyways, let's get Chuck. Chuck, Dawn, talk to me, brother.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. What's going on, brother?
I'm good. Look, I 100% support reparations for um I support reparations for Black people as a whole, but
Nigga. We're not here for that.
no, but listen, look, I'm not I think Black American, whatever you want to call it, foundational Black Americans should get their own separate reparations. I'm totally cool with that. I'm a Black American. I was born and raised in America. So, I think I support that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my only thing though is
Oh,
the whole
what part of America you from? Where your people from?
the Virgin Islands.
So what the fuck? Wait, nigga. The Virgin Islands is part of, okay, nigga. No, nigga.
I knew he was a tether when he said I was born in America. I'm a Black American born in America. Come on, gang.
Nigga.
So Virgin Islands is not part of America.
The U.S.
Yes. Yeah, I'm
It's
from
a
the
territory, but
But so
no,
is
you're
Puerto
not a part
Rico.
of us.
So is Hawaii.
right, right. I mean, and technically, that the Virgin Islands of Puerto Rico is part of the American continent
Nigga,
geographically.
nigga, stop being technical. So while I was going through slavery, your ass was in the Virgin Islands drinking coconuts, water. Is that what you telling me,
But wait,
nigga?
but
You was on the
wait, didn't you
beach?
just
You was on the
didn't you
beach,
just
nigga, drinking coconut water while I was going through child slavery over here, nigga? And you want me to
we
accept you as a black American? Nigga, how the fuck?
we we had you don't even know the history. We had slavery in the Virgin Islands.
For
We've
how
been
long,
part of America
nigga? Until when, nigga? Until
for
when?
years since we were brought over here on a slave ship.
Had
When did
slavery
it
before
end,
America.
sir? When did it end?
It ended when slavery it ended technically when slavery ended in America.
Are you
We we
sure?
we've been
What
we've
the?
been
Oh,
American. We've been
hold on now. You can't sit here and say, "Well, things are a part of America." Well, then it end with nigga. Different regions in America ended slavery at different times. When did your part of the Americas end slavery, sir? See how you like to use the benefit when it benefits you, but when I reverse it back on you, now it's well, whenever. What part of America, sir, and what year? Everywhere did it end slavery at the same time, sir. Different people got their freedom at different times. Haiti, 1804. Jamaica, 1824, I think, some shit like that. The Bahamas, earlier. So what are we talking about? When did slavery end in the Virgin Islands?
I mean, I don't remember the exact date,
So right,
but
so
I
you
know
was
that.
drinking coconut water while I was out there as a child of slave. We're not the same, sir. So no, you're not Black American.
But didn't you just say your mom was from Jamaica? So how are you?
So
So
and
okay, but you are a product of an immigrant who's not from the Americas, correct?
yes, that's true. I am, and my father is a
And
Black American.
so, but you're telling me, who was born and raised in America, that I am not entitled to the same reparations. That don't make sense to me.
Your
Sir,
ancestors.
wait, nigga. Hold on, nigga. Nigga, you did not just try to do that shit. Was that like a Jedi mind trick, nigga? What the
No,
fuck?
no,
Nigga,
I'm saying though.
hold on, sir. Where the fuck are your parents from?
I just told you the Virgin.
So both of your parents are from the
Well,
Virgin Islands.
well,
Both of your parents didn't experience chattel slavery in America. So no, you're not attached to any reparations in the U.S. America. Now you need to go get reparations from the Virgin Islands. Do I receive reparations from the Virgin Islands, sir?
I mean, it would be the same reparations. We're part of the United States.
No, sir. Did we receive
Yes,
any?
we
So did Puerto Rico get any benefits? That and Black Americans also got benefits? Did Hawaii get some benefits and Black Americans also got some benefits, sir?
we were under the same oppressive chattel slavery. We became part of America in 1912. So we've been American. We've
You're
been a
not a
part of
black
America for
American, bro. 1912, it was black Americans way before 1912. The
way
reason
before
why you're not a
1912.
black
Right?
American is because you have a whole nother flag. You just like the Puerto Ricans. Y'all your own entity. Y'all just a territory of ours. Thank you.
No,
So
we're part of
brother,
America.
I hate to break this to you, but you would not be receiving any reparations. I just, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you want to say to that? You just won't get it.
And he's wrong too. Denmark owes you reparation, not America. U.S.
Denmark.
bought
Right. Correct.
Virgin
So
Island from Denmark, so U.S.
right.
bought it. So Denmark owe you a reparation, sir.
Right, and I'm of Denmark descent. My grandfather was part Danish, so I'm not opposed to getting reparations from Denmark or wherever. But I'm just saying, like in the beginning, I said I don't mind you know Black Americans getting their
Oh, you
reparations.
clearly
Did
stated
you
that
just
the
find
U.S.
out your
owes you a
grandfather
Black
was
people as a
reparation.
Danish?
whole. You tried to
Did you
fit the
just find
whole
out that
black
your
Yeah,
people in there.
grandfather was Danish 5 minutes ago? Did you
Hey,
just
Peasy,
find that
boy,
out
what's
from
good,
Peasy?
Peasy?
what's good, family?
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
Denmark.
Odell. Talk. Go ahead, Odell.
I was just wondering if he just found out his grandfather was Danish from Peasy like 10 seconds ago. It's like he's all over the place, like his boat. He's just drifting everywhere. I'm just wondering.
No. I'm just saying because I only mentioned that because he brought up Denmark, and I'm well educated
Right. So
on. Right.
he taught you your lineage, your history. So that's your. So you just found out your grandfather is Danish.
No, I've been known that. I was just trying to connect that to what he was
Okay.
saying with regards to us being under Danish Danish rule for some time because we were under seven different flags.
Saying
You
you
know,
deserve reparations when you have only been a part of America since 1912 is very offensive, sir.
well, I didn't say okay. Well, I'm not saying like specifically reparations with Black Americans, even though whatever.
But that's
But
the topic. That's the topic, sir.
okay, but AI just said
Let
that
me
his
address
mom
something
is.
with you. AI was
Stop
raised in a
bringing up his
black
mom, bro.
household. AI was raised in a black household
I
with
was raised in
black
a Black
family
household.
with a F. Wait, hold on, Chachuku. AI was raised by FBA Black Americans. That's why
No,
he
he was
stands for
not.
integrity.
No, he
Hold
was
on.
not.
I'm telling you. He was
His mom
raised, he
is
let us
Jamaican. He
know.
just said his mom was Jamaican.
You were born here supposedly, and your accent says Caribbean, even while you're screaming at your high pitched tone. It's Caribbean written all over it. You don't see that in AI because he was raised by FBA and he's standing on business. You are coming here trying to discredit him and Black Americans in general. You're
No, no,
disgusting.
no,
Stop.
no. I'm not trying to discredit him, but
But you
I
were.
don't
You just
understand.
ignored his father. His father's FBI. Is he not?
Yes, but I'm just,
Okay. Oh,
but
okay.
Neither
Okay.
one of
Whoa,
your
whoa, whoa.
parents are Black American. So how dare you? Neither one of your parents are Black American.
so what is Virgin Islands? Is it not? Are we
So
not part of America?
the point is, you cannot speak on his lineage when you don't even know anything about it. Just stay in Caribbean business. That's the point. We're telling you you came to the wrong
But
cookout.
brother is part Caribbean though.
You
His
gotta go
mother
through
is
Denmark for
Jamaican.
that shit, bro. You gotta go through
Yeah, you
Denmark.
got to go through
Wait, hold
Denmark.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So you trying to use me to clinch on so you can get some reparations, nigga? Is that what you trying to do? Am I your standing for you, nigga? And what the
No,
fuck? Why
I'm
why
just.
you trying to use me to get you some reparations, po ass nigga? You don't get none. Your family are not entitled to no reparations, sir. You don't have any lineage. It goes by lineage. Your lineage is not attached to US American chattel slavery.
So
Simple as
okay,
that. Simple as that. You don't have nobody attached to that. So where's your claim?
okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't. I'm not trying to like fight for reparations for myself from Black America. Like I don't mind getting reparations from Denmark. I'm just saying like we've been a part of this country for so long. So
Well, y'all gotta stand
you
beside us when it's time to get the reparations,
1912
bro.
isn't that
Y'all gotta
long,
be on our
sir.
team. Y'all gotta be like, yeah, them niggas need the
1912 is
reparations.
over 100 years ago.
But our slavery was way over by then. Like y'all wasn't nowhere. Y'all wasn't with us shooting in the gym. Just put it
Wait,
like
wait, wait,
that.
wait, hold
You
on,
was
John.
not
Let me ask
with
him a
us shooting in
question.
the gym.
Let me ask him a question. Hey, Chuck Cuckoo, Nut Cuckoo Bird.
True.
Why are Black Americans owed reparations?
Why are Black Americans owed reparation?
Yeah.
Well, because of slavery, because of chattel slavery and all the atrocities that followed after that, like
What
redlining and
atrocities? What atrocities?
lynchings, essaying, uh,
We're not owed
Jim.
reparations for lynchings.
Well, also for
So
building
how the hell you
for building
supposed
the
to be getting
country.
some reparations? You don't know what the fuck you getting reparations for. See, that's the problem why we're not including you into the reparations. You don't even know why, nigga. Look at you.
Well, I just said
No, nigga, you're pulling shit out your ass right now. You're just trying to remember, well, damn, what horrible things can I remember that happened? Okay. Lynching. I know them niggas got lynched. Yeah, lynchings. Yeah. Nigga, no, nigga. That's not why we're getting reparations, nigga. So because you can't call out why we deserve reparations, other than chattel slavery, you can't, nigga. That's the reason why we don't want y'all in our business. You don't understand or have a parent who understands why we deserve reparations. This is where your parents come in handy. They were supposed to teach you this, a part of the Americas, but clearly you're not a part of the Americas. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say, sir?
You
Now that you embarrassed yourself in front of 105 people.
no, actually, we are part of America, so
Okay,
you know.
let me make it simple for you then, Chuck E. Cheese. Um, not mainland America, not continental America. Let me make it simple for you. Not mainland, not continental America. How about that? Does that make it easier for you?
What's the difference?
God damn.
Bro, y'all was doing sugar cane, bro. We was over here picking cotton and getting beat the fuck up. And motherfuckers killing our kids and shit. That's the
The
difference,
same
bro.
the same thing was happening in the Virgin Islands.
Nah, y'all on the island though, bro. Y'all all
Drinking
the same
coconut
people.
water.
Y'all the same people. We
You
got
you
mixed
you
all up.
Jakuku.
you wait,
Jakuku. Let me give you an example.
you saying
Jakuku.
coconut water like you don't.
Jakuku. Jakuku. 1 second, Jakuku. Let me give you an example, right? So the banks were called, I want to say like 2, 3 years ago, you guys could Google it or YouTube it, where they were called, and they have to do a congressional hearing where they were asked. Now remember, the banks are the most powerful, richest companies in the world, not just America. They were asked, the top 3 banks, did they profit from slavery? 2 of them refused to ask, and one answered straight up, yes, we did. And some other company answered too, yes, we did. These are companies that are still running, that are still very, very, very profitable. And they are admitting that they did profit from free human trafficking. So those are examples in addition to the ones that you gave. I hope that helps you, Jakuku. I really do.
Anyways, let's move on to C Dave. Talk to me, C Dave. What's going on, brother? What's your name? Where you from?
What's happening, man? I'm C. Dale, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
There it
You know
is.
what I'm saying? That's where the Trail of Tears and all that shit started at. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly, where they talking about they made all the Indians move out and all this old shit, but they was lying because we the true Americans, the real deal. You know, we the only ones come up with nicknames and shit. Indians, black people do that. It ain't no Indian shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We call each other big head and little ears and all that old shit. But
You're right.
you know what I'm saying, the whole, if you think about it, the whole country is named, every river, every city, every state is named after Indians named that shit, which is us. But they done took our identity and told us we ain't who we is. And the Indians, we really need to take this shit up with the Indians because these motherfuckers paying reparations, but they giving it to the Indians. Then the Indians locking us out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's really what the real deal is. And they got it to like, yeah, I heard y'all talking earlier about the DNA shit, where they were saying y'all was asking how they get the markers. That's a good point, because how y'all getting markers, but we can't get the markers. They're not gonna let us do the test and give us the markers because they don't want us to get that money that they get because they know they owe us too. So everybody owe us. That's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to, you know what I'm saying, just chime in, man, and just let everybody know, man, like if you're gonna be down with us, be down with us. Don't be coming around acting like you're down and then y'all talking about some y'all, you know, I ain't like them and all that. That's why Kendrick made that song, They Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit coming to the head right now because we got to stand up. And we've been standing on business. These people owe us money from chemical warfare where they putting drugs in the community. You know,
Amara said it's too late. She said it's too late for them to play Kumbaya. I think
yeah,
so too.
it is. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to play Kumbaya, though, just be on our team. That way, when it's time for y'all to get y'all shit, we can stand in the paint for y'all because we've been standing in the paint for every fucking body. And we tired of that shit. Our feet hurt. You know what I'm saying? We was standing in the paint when we ain't had no shoes. You know, and then motherfuckers trying to be throwing little shots, talking about, oh, y'all was getting bit by dogs and all this, but we stood up and we ain't run because we ain't got nowhere to run to because this our shit. And these motherfuckers know this our shit. But we just got to come together, us come together. You know what I'm saying? Forget the outsiders. Either they going to be down with us or they ain't. But we got to come together. And, you know, really, how I feel, man, black on black crime should really be a fucking treasonous act. It should, motherfuckers should get life for that shit because we're killing our own people for real, for real.
Whoa,
You know what I'm saying?
hold on, brother. Let's
Yeah.
slow down. Let's slow down real
No,
quick.
no.
Let's slow down.
I'm talking about senseless crime, bro. I'm talking about this bullshit.
Well, hold on. Let's get this. You about to get old damn started. Let's on this panel. We don't believe in black on
Well,
black crime. It's just
you know
called
what I'm
crime.
talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Well, crime against each other. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
There we go. All
Crime
right,
against
I
each
get
other.
it.
That shit is treason. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers need to go sit their ass down when they doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, because and it's come from miseducation and people not caring about who we are. You know what
Hey
I'm saying?
Dave, you said okay. Use that word then. Use treason. Because I believe in treason against each other, high treason. We need to deal with the folks who do treason against each other. And also too, shout out to you, Dave. I'm from the 615, so I know where you be at, bro. Shout out to you over there in chat.
That's what's up, man. I went to TSU, man. So
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I went to MTSU. TSU wasn't trying to give me no money, so unfortunately I had to go to the PWI folks. But my folks, my family went to TSU too, so I do go down there homecoming.
Yeah.
Wait, guys. So did you guys say we should hold people accountable when they're doing stuff to each other within our community? I didn't know if AI heard you.
Yeah. Hold on. You see, you got Odell started. Yeah, we should, but we're not going to make that a political move, and we're not going to give white people the avenue to keep bringing that up to hold against us, because that talking point goes for anybody. Everybody commits treason amongst each other. White people, Chinese people, Mexican people. So we don't talk about them rhetorics. You see what I'm saying? We understand that.
I was just asking.
No, hold on, because you think you slick. Oh, damn, you think you slick. So I'm trying to catch you. We only practice treason amongst ourselves quite early in the 80s, only because of the position they put us in. That's the only reason. Other than that, we really don't really be that violent amongst each other when we're left alone. See what I'm saying? All that shit started happening in the late 70s, early 80s during the crack epidemic. So we're not going to just talk about on black crime and not talk about the history that went behind our crime going up, because everybody crime went up in the 80s, but they only highlighted us so they could come in and participate in mass incarceration and get us out the homes, when white crime was at its peak during that time too.
I agree.
And a lot of those crimes are not being committed by the black people. It's people that, they identify everybody as black African Americans.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of collusion.
We don't know who's actually committing
who's crime. Actually committing crime for sure.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I'd even go as far to say YT on YT crime is really destroying our country. But that's a discussion for another day.
Now that's a real conversation.
But,
your trick ain't work, damn. So well, go ahead, C Dave.
No, I'm just saying, no one's gonna be held. No one's ever held accountable.
You cut it out. Your trick ain't work. Go ahead.
This is my first time on here, man. I ain't know the lingo, man. My bad.
No, you good. You good, man. You good.
Yeah, I don't want you saying that. Fault. That's my fault.
If you would have said that and she wasn't on this panel, I might have let you slide. But because she was on this panel, I couldn't let it slide, because I know where she's gonna come and start talking from. But you good, brother? Yeah, y'all. We can't fall. You know what I'm saying? Odell wants to push the rhetorics. Oh, you guys gotta hold each other accountable. Man, you can't say that without addressing the other issues that's been pretty much put onto us. I just seen a rapper the other day, Peasy from Detroit, mention that he doesn't hire black folks to work on his house because he think they're gonna rob him. So he said, "Oh, it's always our own people doing it to each other." And that kind of rhetoric. Okay, you just said you're not gonna hire black people because you think they're gonna rob you. Now, what is that supposed to make black people do now? Not rob you anymore, or rob you some more? Now that we know that you're not gonna hire.
You don't think black people should unite? You don't think black men should unite and stop the nonsense?
Hold on. I think black people need to have empathy for black Americans and some type of grace and understanding for each other. I think that's what we need to have first before we must unite. Because we get divided, like when some of us make a little bit more money than others, we start acting more like white supremacists. Look at those niggers down there. I would never know it damn well. That's the same place you done came from. And you trying to talk down on people that you came from, like rappers. I can't hire niggas because they rob. Nigga, you rap about robbing. What the fuck? You rap about selling drugs, nigga. Now you done got your money. Now it's you can't hire them people. No. We had to start having empathy for economics. I'm going to hire whoever, and I'm going to school people who came from the same place that I came from, while I give them this money. We need to have empathy for each other and understanding. That's what I think before we start shaming each other. Right. We understand why majority of us commit majority of some of these crimes. It's economics. That's it. Black Americans are the only ones who commit majority of economic crimes. White people, there really is no excuse why the fuck they committed crimes. The Asians, there really is no excuse. The Mexicans, and on top of that, we don't even have organized crimes. We don't have major gangs. We don't have Mexican mafias. We ain't have no Italian mafia gang. All shit be the nigga from down the street. One nigga decide to gang bang with 5 other niggas. That's as big as majority of our gang banging goes. It doesn't go nationwide like how these other cultures and races gangs be going. Right. So the talking point doesn't need to be talked about because it's a smoke screen for them not to talk about giving us reparations and trying to hold us as a degrading level. And we can't let people do that to us. That's all I'm saying. See, David, something else you want to say, brother? I heard you talking.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, man. If white people want us to stop all this crime that they say we do so much, and the poverty rates and all the fatherless homes, they need to give us our money. If you give us our money, everybody be good. You won't have, it'll be a way lower crime rate. It'll
Exactly.
be more innovation going on, more inventions. We're gonna pump the economy. But they don't want to do that because it ain't about the money. It's about them being empowered, and they try to smoke screen and cover it up, camouflage it like that's not what it is, but that's exactly what it is. They want, in their mind, their religion is to rule over us. They buy, and when they read the Bible, think about it. Black people go to church and white people go to church, but it's not the same church. Why is it never integrated? You know what I'm saying? It's never integrated in the church.
Right. Definitely. Odell, go ahead, Odell.
Thank you, my dear AI, for letting me come off mute, even though the guy at the top is just spewing out whatever. So, two things I want to address with him. Black fathers are in the home. That's just the rhetoric that they say. There are so many black fathers in the home.
No. Excuse
Number
me. No,
two,
I'm saying that's what they say. That's all I'm
no, I
saying.
was saying what
I know
they
because I'm a
say.
black
We got to
father.
stop repeating what they say because that's not true. If I
No,
would have
but
said that, AI would have muted me and been
Oh,
like,
okay.
no,
wait,
Okay.
but
oh, see,
the
everybody's
point,
attacking me.
but
Okay,
the
no,
point that
Rejoice.
I
Pastor
was
Gabe.
making was
Okay, hold on,
I'm
that's
under
sister.
attack.
She's going to complain.
Thank you. You know, I'm old. I can't yell. So the next thing I want to address, I have a 9-year-old and a 17-year-old. I know you think I'm super old. I guess I had my 9-year-old at like 75, right? So the thing with my kids, like any kids, you want to keep your kids safe, regardless of what neighborhood in America that they're in. Everyone has the same wish to keep their children safe, whether they're living in a middle class neighborhood, poor neighborhood, rich neighborhood, it doesn't matter. So when they're not safe and they're under attack, and sometimes unfortunately by the YTs and our own people, right? We can't keep saying, oh, we can't hold them accountable because it's the YT's fault. Some of the things that are happening, these kids are out of control. And if we don't address this, that's probably why we're having the problems getting worse. Like, let's not act. Yes, we know this is a symptom to the problem, but that doesn't mean we can't keep holding our kids accountable to prevent these things from happening.
So damn, who said that we weren't? You think we just gonna let somebody just rob the store and not say nothing? No damn. You don't think we gonna pull a kid to the side or pull someone to the side and say, hey man, tying up, you tripping? You don't think that's gonna happen if we vividly see it? Oh damn.
So this is the thing, right? So he brought this up a few minutes ago, and you were like, nope, nope, we ain't gonna talk about that because the problem is they only doing that because the root problem is these YT people. And I'm saying I agree with you. What I'm saying is some of the things that are happening, we gotta talk to our kids. Like to act like things are not happening, even though yes,
So
it was
so
set
so
up for it to happen that way.
you know why it's not working, and we're gonna move on. You know why talking isn't working? Because kids don't want to hear talking. That's the issue.
Heard that.
Kids don't want to hear you know what I'm saying, I gotta do better. They want to see better. And that comes from their environment and what they have access to. So just saying, hey, put the gun down, and you will have no business to offer this kid so he can make some money. You don't have any suggestions. If he keeps seeing the Arabs buy up all the community stores or the Latinos buy up all the Walmarts, and he can't get a job because now you got to be bilingual to get a job. He's going to resort, you know what I'm saying, to robbing. And then when he hear other rhetorics from black people like, oh, those black on